Hi, my name's Leah, and I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. And I just want to take a minute to talk to everyone about the Kony 2012 campaign and Invisible Children. I want to start off positive. So everybody that is supporting Invisible Children right now, every time you press the share button, every time you're sitting there and you're saying to support Invisible Children, every time you order a kit, every time you order posters, every time you paint your car, every single one of you right now that is out there supporting, you are so awesome. And it literally brings me to tears to think of the overwhelming support that is going through the world right now for Invisible Children. And I just want you to know that, I support you, Invisible Children supports you, we all support you, and you're awesome. And to keep doing what you're doing. Don't let all this crap that's going on in the media and all this crap that people are making up, stick to your guns. Do your research. And if you find something that is making you doubt what you believe in, research it. Don't believe the first thing that you hear. Which brings me to my negative comments. So what I don't understand is how there are people right now that are making fun of this campaign. There are people that are posting things like, oh, I just got my Kony case from Gold Star. I mean, I'm glad that you think that you're funny, and I'm sure that, you're going to be proud of yourself in a few years, but this is serious. This is about children. They're 5 through 12 years old, and they are given a gun and forced to kill. I have a 6-year-old brother, and I have an 11-year-old sister. The women, these little girls, they're not women. They're little girls. And if they are abducted by Kony and his men, they're forced into sex slavery. As Americans, we can't begin to fathom what that's like. What it would be like to go to sleep and be so fearful that in the morning we might wake up and have a gun pointed to our head. That we might wake up and be handed a gun and said, here, kill your mom. It's so easy for people to dismiss this issue. For them to say, oh, that's not really happening. This is a hoax. It's a scam. Because we don't want to believe that it's happening. I don't want to believe that it's happening. I wish it wasn't happening. But it is. And that's the reality of it. I mean, you can sit here and you can say it's a scam until you're blue in the face, but what's that helping? Even if it was a scam and it's really not happening, the possibility that it is happening should be enough to make you want to do something. They're kids. They're helpless. The only reason why they have a voice right now is because of Invisible Children. The only reason why there's hope right now is because of Invisible Children. Because they stepped in and said that this is not acceptable. A genocide in America was not acceptable. So why should it be acceptable in Africa? Because it's not our issue. Because it doesn't have to do with our country. So, if it ever came to a point where your children were being abducted, where your family was being abducted and forced and being raped and being killed, should no one step in because it's not their problem? The validation behind all the negative comments, the validation behind all the statistics that are being made up, it doesn't make any sense. These are children. We have to fight for them. It is our duty as humans to fight for them because they cannot fight for themselves. They're babies. And what I don't understand is there's a video out there right now, and it's by a lady who says that she's from Uganda, and she says that she spoke to her parents and that they say that Kony's dead and there hasn't been attacks in over 10 years. Okay. On December 25th through 27th, 2008, Joseph Kony abducted and murdered more than 400 people. Many of them were hacked into pieces. They were decapitated or burned alive during their Christmas celebrations. Kony does this thing where he disfigures their faces. He cuts off their mouths to not speak ill of the rebels. There were 2 3-year-old girls who suffered serious neck injuries because the rebels tried to twist their heads off. Now, I don't know what you were doing at Christmas in 2008, but I'm pretty sure that your families weren't lying dead in a pile, that their heads weren't being hacked off, that they weren't sitting there and the children in your family weren't displaced. So to sit there and to say that this is not real, when there are children that are living this right this second, there are children with guns in their hands, right this second. And instead of doing something about it, you're taking your time and your energy to be negative, to say that this is a hoax, to post things about how it's not real, to question invisible children. And to even question invisible children with as much as they've done, I mean, it's the most absurd thing I've ever heard. Invisible Children has built schools. They've built a freaking radio tower in Africa. I mean, they've done so much. They've given freedom to these kids, to some kids who probably never would have had it, who could never afford it. And you know, in the Joseph Kony video that is posted on the internet, the Kony 2012, there is a clip in there of Jacob, and he's crying because of his brother who was murdered. And for your heart to not break over that, for your heart to not just swell and want to just embrace these kids and to give them what they deserve because they were born, so they matter. Just like how when we're born we matter, they should matter. Because where you live should not determine whether you live. And I think that is such a great quote. And it's so true. Because a lot of the people's excuses for not backing up this Kony 2012 is because it's not happening in our country. But if it were happening to us, would we want somebody to step in? Would we want help? I mean, I would think so. And, you know, the things that are being made up about invisible children and the things that are being said, if you would just put your energy into helping instead of into putting out hatred and to make fun of this issue, which it's not a scam, but if in some alternate reality it were, the thought of it even being a reality should make you want to step up and help. Should make you want to step up and do it at the slight chance that it is real, which it is. I mean, if you watch the videos, if you do your research, if you actually go to the Invisible Children website, you can see the stories from these people that have gone through it, that have done it, that have escaped from Joseph Kony. And another thing, our troops are not in Uganda to fight. They are there to educate. And that's what this campaign is about. It's about education. It's not about, you know, making him a household name. It's not about supporting. It's about making awareness known, making people aware of what's going on. Because without our support, Uganda loses theirs. They lose all the support that they have because we're the only people supporting them right now. And they don't have the technology, they don't have the tools, they don't have the intelligence to go out and find this man. And with our help, they can do that. It's not about violence. It's not about war. It's not about us going in there and killing people. It's about us going in there and teaching them the tools that they need to do the job that needs to be done. To arrest this man. To have him make headlines as the #1 world's most wanted person captured. You know, Gandhi said, maybe it wasn't Gandhi. Somebody somewhere said that it's better to walk and do nothing than to sit and do nothing. Because if you're walking, at least you can say that you tried. At least you can say that you made an attempt. At least you can go to sleep tonight knowing that you possibly made a difference in the world. And when that headline comes in the newspaper, when it hits the internet, that Joseph Kony was captured, every person out there that hit share made a difference. So my question to you, can you make a difference for these kids? Can you put aside your cynicism, your I hate the world, so I'm not going to help out, your I'm too metal for this? Have a heart. Open your eyes. This is really happening, and we can put a stop to it. So go out and do it.